to share a little project with you. So I've been feeling kind of creative lately, and I have Tuesday morning to thank for this inspiration of creativity. So this is Regeneration Noir. I have two of them, as you can see, but this is Regeneration Noir. I did a video review on her a little while ago, and she was a gift. My mom had found her at Tuesday morning, and I was dying. I think she's beautiful. I'm surprised how much I liked the shine on her face and just the goth look of her. It's not really typically my style of doll, but I can't help, because I do customize dolls, thinking, what would she look like if her face wasn't as shiny? What about different eye chips? Her wig it leaves a little to be desired. It smells weird, it's kind of crunchy, but I would never touch anything on her head. And then Tuesday morning decided to restock the Regen Noir doll, and I happened to pick one up. So here's the second one. She's got even weirder, crunchier hair, and I thought this is a fantastic opportunity to do a little customization work and then do a comparison of the dolls. So I'm going to share my plans with you now and see how much of it turns out successful. I am hoping to change her wig and give her a different wig. I'm not trying to change the doll completely, but I do want to give her a new look. So I am going to just touch up the color a little bit, give her more of a matte finish. I do have a ton of eye chips to play with, so I think I might change eye chips. And then I think I might change her and do a different outfit. And then once I'm done with all that, I'm going to take the two dolls together and do a comparison and get your feedback. So why don't we get started? All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I've done with my Noir here is I've removed all of her stock, like her dress and everything. Because I am going to be handling sometimes sharp objects, the last thing I want to do is cut her stock in any way. So I took that off. You can see she's totally covered in plastic here. A lot of people, when they work on these dolls, they cover it in plastic anyway, so she's being very convenient here. So the first thing I'm going to do is you're going to take an X-Acto knife or a small bladed knife and remove the wig. Now, I will tell you that we did kind of a practice run on this video. I tugged on her wig, and you guys, it just like popped off. And you can see the wig here, it did not have a lot of glue on it. Wigs will vary widely based on any number of factors, but I literally just tugged on the back and it just popped off. But what you would want to do is take the X-Acto knife and the blade outward away from you. I usually start from the back just because you don't want to cut anything. You want to just start somewhere where if you did make a little mistake, you could recover pretty quickly. But I usually just go right under the hairline, and I just very slowly make my way across the hairline. And what I do is I'll just kind of pull at it and just tear a little bit along the edge. I'll put this down, and then I'll just kind of tug it to see if the wig will give by itself. And in this case, bloop, it popped off. All right, so let me just put this on here so I don't hurt myself. All right, so I set that aside. I've got two different screwdrivers here, and you'll want to take off the back plate of her head. So you'll see there are 3 screws, and you'll just want to take these out. This one's always a little bit deeper, so I have to use a little more longer screwdriver. All right, so you'll have some parts kind of fall out. You'll have these little wink bars that'll come out, and because her back plate is attached to her face, you'll just want to be very careful. Remove the body. And then what you'll see on the inside are, it's her eye mechanism. And there's 3 screws here as well that you'll undo. But before that, you'll want to take off the eyelid. This is the mechanism that gets her to blink. So take those little springs off, and then you'll just remove these screws as well. Just like that. So there'll be 3 screws. You'll just want to keep track of those. put that aside. And there's some eyelids. So this is kind of interesting. So these eyelids have nothing on them. So I thought I would try airbrushing them, and I'll do that in another video. So I'll set that aside. And now let's go ahead and take out her eye chips. All right, so now we're going to take out the eye chips. And what you'll want to do is, I have a very kind of slight little flathead screwdriver here. There are other things you can use. You just want something that's very slender to get behind the eye mechanism. And what I've done is I've wrapped a little bit of paper towel around it, because some of these eye chips are a little bit harder to get out than others, and the last thing you want to do is destroy a perfectly good eye chip. So what you'll do is, you'll see these little holes in the back of the eye chips. You'll just want to line up the screwdriver and just pop. And a lot of these will come out very easily, some of them won't. Just try to keep this covered here. We'll do it on the other side. Some of them, like I said, will take a little bit of strength, so that's where that paper towel comes in handy. So this is what the empty eye mechanism looks like, and here's your eye chips that can be used again. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the face plate and we're going to use sealant MSC and let it dry for about 30 minutes. I'll also do it on these plain eyelids. I'll cover up the eyelashes and spray that as well. All right, so now that the faceplate has been sealed, I did want to show you kind of a comparison between the original shiny face of Noir, and this is the matted face that has the coat of the sealant on it. So already a difference. Let me put her aside here. So the next step is I'm going to add just a little bit of color to her face. See, I also sprayed the eyelids, and I'm going to airbrush those next. I'll set those aside. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of chalk pastels. This is what I use. I got these from a friend of mine, but you can get these from Amazon or art supply stores. I think the more, the better quality you're going to get is if you pay a little bit more. You don't need to spend a fortune on pastels though. These are the two colors that I have chosen. I'm not really sure which one is going to be better for her, so I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to scrape off a little bit of pastel. I'm going to use two colors. Right. And so now I'm using an angled brush for a little blush. Just be careful because she is attached here. Be careful not to mess up her chain. I'm going to start with this kind of more neutral color and just give a little bit of color to her. Now my goal isn't to change her out of her original personality. I do want her to still be kind of a dark goth type of girl. I just wanted to make her a little bit different from the original. And I also like that this particular doll has this kind of magenta colored liner, and I thought a little bit of color on her cheeks might just bring that out, and I feel like it does. So not a ton, but just enough color on her cheeks to make her a little bit different. And that's really all I'm going to do. I'm not going to add that much more. So I'm going to spray her again with MSC, and then the next thing we'll do is choose new eye chips. And the next step is to choose new eye chips. I actually love her original eye chips, which are here, but I wanted to just make this doll a little bit different. So I found from Lullaby for Dolls a blue and kind of a yellowish eye chip that I thought might work really well as kind of an alternative. So that's them. And what I'm going to do is I use just a white glue. This is a water-based glue, and just put a little bit around the edges, and then just put the eye chips in. And then you'll want to set this aside to dry. And okay guys, so I finished the face plate. I did a little bit of blush on her cheeks, put a little color on her forehead, And so there's just a couple of little steps left to do before we can put her together. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of layers of varnish on her lips to give them a little bit of a shine. I let each coat dry first. So I'm going to do that next. Her eye chips are ready to go. So I've got those glued in and ready. And then my airbrushing machine did not cooperate today, so I'm improvising, and I'm using these eyelids that I had done previously, and I think they'll go really well. So let me finish the varnish and then we'll put her together. Hey guys, so this is the big unveiling. These are my two Regen Noir dolls together side by side. I am going to do kind of a comparison, but I want to show you the modified doll to give you kind of an idea of what I did, and then I'll put them back side by side. But just kind of at a glance, you can see that they have new different wigs, different eye chips. The original Noir still has that shiny face. And then of course they have different outfits now. But I want to think that I stayed true to the character of Noir. So let me show you the modified doll. So what I've done here is I've added a My Select wig. So I don't know if you have tried any of these wigs. I got this one from Pullip Style. Just the softest, most incredible wig at a pretty decent price. So I wanted it in black, and it is just, like I said, super soft, not a lot of frizz, a lot to work with. Her eyes, I think I mentioned they're from Lullaby for Dolls. They come in kind of similar colors to the original Regen Noir, so I wanted to, again, stay true. And then her face, you can see I've added just the slightest color to her cheeks. I wasn't trying to ungoth her, but I did want to give her a slightly different look. So all I did was add a little bit of color and then a little bit of varnish to the lips to give her a little shine. And then she is currently borrowing the ensemble from two different stock dolls. So the dress is from Pullip Stika, who you might remember as the maid, and the hair bow is from Pullip Allura, who has kind of a goth look herself. So that's my modified doll, and if I just bring the both of them together, I will tell you that this was a very, very fun project that was done. You know, some of these kind of how-tos and crafty type of projects, they take multiple days. Sometimes they take a week because sometimes you just don't have the time, you have to wait for the weather. This was kind of a fun project that only took me maybe a day and a half with waiting time and all that. So this was, like I said, a ton of fun, and if you are looking to do something similar, it is a great way to customize a doll without having to go full custom. If you have any questions about Regen Noir, let me know. Thanks.